The first task is visualization of a problem using the problem tree tool. It will take around 40 minutes. Your first task will be to visualize main problem you face in your profession, job, or specialty by using problem tree tool. You have to do the task basing on both SWOT analysis you have done in the previous lesson, SWOT analysis of your current or future profession, and SWOT analysis of your personal abilities and challenges in the profession. When creating your problem tree, make sure that it reflects the following aspects. Trunk, name the main problem. Roots, justify why you think it is a problem, what contradictions it contains, what needs it does not satisfy, and what opportunities it does not exploit. Blossoms or fruits, visualize the manifestation of the problem. What form does it take? Where does it appear? Here is the visualization. Tip: there are many possible visualizations of the problem tree, so you can choose whichever you prefer. You can create your problem tree online using the Miro platform, or you can also draw it yourself. I hope you found this task as interesting as I did. I have created my problem tree which reflects the problem I face in the teaching profession. Here is the visualization. The second task is clarifying a problem using the mirror method. It will take around 30 minutes. Your second task is to clarify and to deepen your understanding about the problem you experience in your profession, job, or specialty. To achieve this goal, you will use the mirror method. In order to do so, you will need some help. You will need a friend, colleague, or family member to act as a mirror for the problem you have identified. So, the first step in completing this task is to find someone you trust to act as your mirror. It could be a friend, parent, or colleague. Let's say you choose a colleague to help you. The next steps would then be as follows. You share your problem with your colleague. Your colleague retells the problem in the first person, as if it is his or her own. You then reflect on what you have heard, understood from the retold problem. Does it sound clear, unclear, different? Depending on your findings, you will then specify, clarify, or add relevant things to your problem tree. Tip: you might find it useful to make a copy of your original problem tree so that the mirroring person can write or draw on it. Later on, you can then transfer the most relevant parts of his or her input to your problem tree. Your third and the last task in the lesson is to evaluate how smart is a problem you have identified and defined. Yes, you heard right, the problem may be smart. For that, it must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed. Why is this necessary and important? Because in this process, your problem will be transformed into a specific and achievable goal. You can complete this evaluation process independently. However, if possible, I recommend working on it with the same person who assisted you with the previous task. Guiding instruction. First of all, here is a bit more about the SMART method. The SMART method for goal setting was invented by George Doran in 1981. A management consultant, George Doran, introduced the acronym in his article, "There's a Smart Way to Write Management's Goals and Objectives," published in the journal Management Review. His initial version of the acronym stood for specific, measurable, assignable, relevant, and time-bound. When evaluating the smartness of your problem, keep in mind the following aspects. Specific. The problem is well defined, narrow, targeted, focused on a specific task. For example, I want to be able to understand and answer basic customer questions in French at work. Achievable. The problem is realistic and solvable within the available time frame and with the available resources. For example, I know some basic rules. I am good at languages, or I can use a language learning app to support and foster my learning. Relevant. The problem is meaningful and significant and aligned with your overall objectives. For example, I am highly motivated or I have good practical reasons. Time framed. The problem has a specific deadline or time frame for completion, providing a sense of urgency and a clear timeline. For example, I want to solve my problem within a month or within 3 months. Tip: if you complete the task together with a friend or colleague, first, evaluate your problem's smartness separately. Secondly, come together, share, and discuss the points of your evaluations. Hopefully, you were able to assess how smart your problem is. I certainly did, and in the process, I discovered that my problem is not specific enough. It lacks a specific time frame. Therefore, I formulated my problem more precisely and specifically and added the time frame in which I will seek to solve it. As you can see, it now sounds like a specific and achievable goal. Here it is. Over the next 3 months, I would like to improve my ability to adapt learning materials for children with dyslexia. Well done. That was the last task for lesson 2. We can now move on to lesson 3.